Welcome to the Digication Scholars Conversation Series. I'm your host, Jessica Chittum. In this episode, you'll hear part one of my conversation with Zakia Mahabub from LaGuardia Community College. More links and information about today's conversation can be found on Digication's Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Full episodes of the Digication Scholars Conversation Series can be found on YouTube or your favorite podcast app. Welcome to Digication Scholars Conversations. Today I am talking with Zakia Mahabub. She's from LaGuardia Community College in New York, where she works as a student success mentor. Since graduating from LaGuardia, she has been pursuing a bachelor's degree in computer engineering at the City College of New York. I'm really excited to talk with Zakia today because of how she, as a mentor, has worked to build a sense of belonging and community on a diverse campus of learners. So welcome, Zakia.
Thank you so much for having me here today, and I'm really great to be here. And today, I don't know how to express the feelings, but it's an honor. Um, and I feel like after working 4 years as a student success mentor, this is something that makes me motivated. In the same time, makes me work more and help more students. So thank you.
Absolutely, and we're just really thrilled to talk with you today. So let's go ahead and get started. I wanted to start just because some of our listeners may not be familiar. Can you tell us a bit about the Student Success Mentor Program at LaGuardia Community College for those listeners who aren't familiar?
To put it in a more simpler way, the Student Success Mentor Program is affiliated with, the first year seminar course that is taught in LaGuardia to first year seminar students. So this is basically a course where, student when they are in their first semester, fresh out of high school, or probably in a very, as it's a community college, so we have a very diverse group of students, actually from 164 countries. To be specific. So we have a very diverse community, and we have students from different backgrounds, different stages of their life. And when those people come to college, enroll in a department, in a specific major, or sometimes non-specific majors, they have to take this course, which is called First Year Seminar. And this course has two parts. So one is a faculty hour and one is a lab hour. And the lab hour is the place where we come in as a student success mentor. So our program revolves around this course. And as a student success mentor, we are the one who facilitate the lab hour along with the faculty. So it's like a team of faculty and a student success mentor who teaches this course. Um, so what we do is we introduce the students with LaGuardia and what they need for their 2 years associate journey. But in the same time, we also introduce them with the CUNY tools that is super CUNY specific, like Blackboard or ePortfolio or CUNY First. And those kind of stuff. In the same time, these courses designed in a way that in the lab hour portion, the students actually need to build their own e-portfolio using the system, and they need to keep modifying it, designing it, and also they learn a lot of other soft skills, like, from very scratch, like Microsoft Office, or even writing a professional email. Or they're also learning about how to create their elevator pitch, how to introduce themselves to professor, or probably in future when they have to pursue, like, their career, or even go to a 4 year college interview or something like that. So this is like a first stepping stone, and as a mentor, our role is to provide those kind of help, being a peer ourselves, being a student ourselves. Because sometimes it happens that even though a faculty tries a lot, there's this gap, where the students are probably feeling shy or not super comfortable to share it with a faculty partner. So, as a mentor, we come in being a student, being in that same platform as them, but probably a little more experienced, so we can share our own experiences and motivate them and help them. In the same time, understand what they are talking about, because we have been going through that, right? Um, so I think it's a very important role that makes a bridge between a faculty and the students. So we are kind of that bridge. who helps them to go smoothly, making that communication. And also in the same time, I'm not going to use the term shoulder to cry on, but I would definitely say that we try our best as a mentor in the class or even during our office hours to like provide them with help, anything regarding the course, or even anything if they need extracurriculars, like any extra help like mental health, or if they need any person to just talk to, that I'm going through a lot, like especially during this pandemic we realized that our role is even more important, because a lot of students came rushing to us that this is something is happening, I don't know what to do, I don't know how to tell it to the professor, can you help us? So this is really amazing. So I think that kind of gives a very good idea about what we do as a mentor in a class or outside the classroom.
That just sounds wonderful, and I wish I had something like that when I was a first-year student.
Thank
Um,
you.
I started at a community college myself in Florida, and I could see how something like that would have been incredibly beneficial, especially for non-traditional students who maybe haven't been in school in a while. You just to have that sort of landing base,
Exactly.
somebody to go to when they may not be as familiar with all of these strange, higher education protocols and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of international students. I still have few in my recent classes. Um, for them particularly, I saw that it's a great idea, because they come from a different country. That's a big transition, and then they come here and they get into a college which is not traditional because it's a community college, so they're not getting their bachelor's. So what is this about? Why do you need a 2 year, right? It's a lot of question. And being an immigrant myself, I understand that because I had to come here to pursue higher education, and I had to go through that similar experiences, right? So when I am dealing with someone who is in a stepping stone like me, that I was probably 3 or 4 years ago, I know how to deal with that, right? So I think this job provides me to help students in that situation, which is amazing, like super rewarding to me personally. Like, and of course, if I'm able to being a help, that's fantastic, right? So.
So tell me how you fell into this position because it sounds like you were very, very well qualified for it, and you obviously did a wonderful job or are doing a wonderful job with it. So how did you fall into this role?
Oh, that's a fantastic question. Um, so it's an interesting thing, because what happened when I get into LaGuardia, I was a LaGuardia alumni um, myself. So I started LaGuardia after coming to US and staying here for a year myself, and I was pretty shy, and I did not know what to do basically. So I was just studying. I was a computer science major, and what actually happens when you are in a major like computer science or engineering, there's a lot of things going on in the major itself that you don't necessarily think that, oh, I should just go out, enjoy my life, or do a lot of co-curricular activities in campus, because you were thinking about how to program this thing you never programmed in your life, right? So that was the phase I was going through for like a year, the first year. And when I started my third semester, I actually realized that I don't know anything about the college system of this country, and I have to be here, and I want to be here. I want to be in the market when I pursue my career as a computer engineer. But I don't know anything about it. I don't know how to prove myself to people. I don't know how to talk to people when I have to talk to higher ups, not only just the professors, right? That led me to think that I should, what, I should just do whatever I was doing. I should just quit whatever I was doing, like outside campus, and get more involved in campus activities. So I started, like, I took a course on public speaking, which was under my flexible core. That kind of gave me enough confidence, because I was fortunate enough to be participating in a competition at LaGuardia, like a public speaking competition at LaGuardia, through that course. So I realized that people are there to help us, and if I just ask, I will get the help. um, and I felt there are a lot of other students who feel like that. So I had this, I don't know how to define it, but it was like an urge to help people like me, immigrant especially immigrant students like me who has language barriers, who don't know where to go, even though there are specific instruction, but they just don't they're not understanding it. And that led me to get more involved, and I applied. My first job on campus was as a peer advisor, and I applied and I started at being an advisor, student advisor, and I spoke to a lot of students. And through that program, I actually ended up um, having a discussion with one of the SSM, like student success mentors, and I loved the way they were talking. I loved the way, because I attended like few studio hour session. We call it studio hour, the lab hour portion of the class that we facilitate. And I loved the way they teach the students and they communicate, they help them. So I felt like as an advisor, I'm just advising them on their curriculum, and I'm also talking to them that, this is the way you can pursue, this is the course that you can take, but I'm not really helping them from a root level. Where as an SSM or a student success mentor, I can help them from that very beginning that I really want to help, right? And I
Mhm.
applied for the job, and I got it, which is amazing. And that was like the first thing that I did. I took the courage to actually get into the program, um, and that was amazing. And I started my first semester in 2016 fall. I had only one studio hour to teach because that was my first semester. It was a last minute thing then, and I took my time to actually understand how I should move forward. I had my trainings. I know what to do according to the protocol, but how I can also actually help them when they need. So that helped me that first semester, even though I had only one class. Because of that, I had enough time to work on myself, work on my strategies, the way I want to help them. And now it's continuing. I love this job so much that even after like so many years, I still love it. And I want to do it. So
And
yeah.
it's wonderful that you're still doing it even though you have graduated from LaGuardia. You've moved, your story forward in other ways, but
Yeah.
you're still helping those and advocating for those who are in similar situations as you were. Um, and so I want to know a little bit more about like your journey. How did you come to be where you are now in your academic journey, your personal journey? You immigrated to the U.S. You started school. It was all a little crazy. Just tell me a little bit about you and your story.
So I immigrated to US in 2014, and when I came here, it's 2014 February to be specific. Um, I had only my high school diploma from my country. I'm from Bangladesh, and when I came from Bangladesh, I already had a 2-year gap because what happened is I was supposed to be here in 2011, but then the whole bin Laden thing happened, and all the process of immigration stopped. But what happened is I graduated from high school, and we were like almost on the process of getting the visa and everything. So I did not get into any college in my country, and I took the off, and I was just homeschooling. So it was like more learning online through YouTube videos and stuff, and doing other stuff at home, back home. But I was not really technically in an institution. Um, so when I came here, I was really not only just eager, but also a little depressed myself that, you know, uh, what I'm going to do now. I mean, I already took an off. The college is not going to take me. Like, because I was afraid, I was super scared. And then when I talked to, I actually applied to City College first because that was like my dream college when I came in because I wanted to go to the City College of New York, but they need SAT and they need a high school diploma from here or something equivalent to high school diploma. And unfortunately, I didn't have my high school certificate from 2 years ago in Bangladesh. That was a bad thing for me, and I was really upset and depressed. And a lot of people, especially in Bengali community, what happens is they actually tell you to first take your time, get situated, and then look for education. But for me, because I already was taking a lot of time back home, I did not want to spend any longer. I just wanted to get enrolled in any college. But then I realized that in order to get a financial aid, because I cannot afford college, that at that point I could not. Um, I had to wait for a year, so I had a 3 year gap. And during that 3 year, what I did was actually it was needed. I think now I feel like that struggle, that period, I needed to move forward to make myself prepared. I guess. So I worked pretty few retail jobs, like full time, and took GED to make myself prepare, because I didn't have SAT but I had GED. I could apply to community colleges. So what I did, I that 1 year I took the time to learn about the education systems here, and I saw that yes, in order to get into city college I need to at least get into a community college first. So I went to LaGuardia. They're very nice. I love the community there, and it's in my neighborhood. I went there, I spoke to them, and then I applied online. And to be honest, I also applied to City College and other 4 year colleges, but they did not take me because I do not have SAT. But LaGuardia took me in, and I started in spring 2015. The rest of it is pretty much what I said earlier, so I'm not going to repeat that. I graduated from LaGuardia in 2017, spring, and during this time period, like from my third semester to my fifth semester. So it took me 5 semesters in order to graduate. Um, it was an amazing journey. I was part of a lot of co-curricular activities. I was one of the President Society ambassador. It was like a student ambassador thing of the college. I did honor societies, like Phi Theta Kappa, and it made me move forward. It made me, like, realize that I can do it. Like, it doesn't matter that I started late or I had a 3 year gap. It made me look like the fact that no, if I just gather my skills, and if I keep my confidence, I can move forward. Like, there's nothing that can stop me if I am true to myself, right? And those and I would definitely encourage, I always encourage my students as well, that everybody should explore their college wherever it is, whatever the campus is. They should. Doesn't matter it's a community college, doesn't matter it's a 4 year. Everybody should get involved in campus because they give you a lot of opportunities that you can get motivation from or inspiration from. And that worked for me like a magic. So what I did, I took those lessons. I was so lucky. I visited Google New York's office. I visited Travelers office, Wells Fargo office, Goldman Sachs office, through those programs that I was part of. And I was part of Women in Technology New York, which is now known as Breakthrough Tech New York. Um, and it also motivated me to stay in the path of technology, because I was, of course, a little bit distracted and depressed that, oh, it's a lot harder than I thought. But it made me grounded. It kept me grounded. It kept me motivated. So when the time came, I graduated. I transferred to City College, and I changed my major from computer science to computer engineering. And right now, I am in City College in my senior year, and hopefully, I'm graduating in next spring, 2021,
That's
as
so
a computer
exciting.
engineer, a bachelor in computer. Yeah, it's amazing. It's like a dream come true, and I'm really hoping and looking forward to it. So I would definitely thank LaGuardia, and it was a great journey there that made me, motivated and kept me in that path that I needed to be on.
And
Yeah,
you
that's pretty
mentioned
much.
earlier about, how some students just don't even wanna ask for the help that they might need in order to get acclimated to the community college environment, to their course, to their, having a professor, to understanding everything that's going on, and it should not be, minimized how difficult it can be to ask for help. And so, what I think is so beautiful about what you've done is you have a great story. And, everything wasn't perfect and seamless for you. You had to work your way through a system that can be challenging. And so, you took that story and you turned it around to help other people. And so, what I want to know now is how have you, in thinking about things like feelings of belonging, belonging to a community, maybe just a community in a class, or to the entire, college or university. How have you helped build that sense among other students? Tell me some stories, powerful stories that you've experienced in your role as a mentor.
That's a great question. I would definitely like to share some story from my student's life. So I had a student in, I think, 1 year ago, a year or so 3 semesters ago, from health sciences.
Mhm.
So that particular student, she is in her 50s. Okay, so she is over 55 now, by now, yeah. And she wanted to be a licensed practice nursing major, and she was trying to pursue that. So what happened is, somebody from a previous college that she was in, a staff in there, actually, I don't know how it was said, but the way I heard it from her, that said that you were too old to pursue this career right now, and it's super hard. I mean, I understand, yeah, nursing is not a piece of cake, but you cannot just say it to someone that she can't do it on her face, just because she's old, right?
Oh, it's
And
awful.
it was really awful for her, and it was so awful that she actually took a pause from pursuing her dreams, and then she changed the college and came to LaGuardia, and she was in my class. So what happened, as I mentioned, that I always try, even if it takes my own time, I always try to talk to my students. So one time, what happened was, I came early to the class to just, hang out with the students, just to be there, so that if they have any question, they can reach out to me. And she came in, and she was like, Zakia, I would like to talk to you about something. So I was like, probably she has something regarding the course. She probably needs help. And she was like, I really appreciate the work that you do. And she complimented me, and said a lot of other things, and she said that, this happened to me, and I changed I was almost on the verge of stopping, moving forward, but I changed the college and I came here, and then you in the class, because she has also technical issues. So, like, for example, she never really had a lot of experience in using computer, or using Gmail, or using Microsoft Office, or a portfolio itself, and those are the works that I help the students to do and create in class. And for her, I actually had to, it's not only her. In that particular class, I had 4 of the students who were above 50 and who never had any technical experience, and I have 30 students in each class, so most of, like, on average. So I'm the only person, right? So what I had to do, I also have they have a position called student technology mentor, who are also present in the class, who helps if there are technical issues and stuff. So what I always used to do is, when I am instructing but they're having difficulty understanding it, I used to just assign the STM to be with 4 of them, so that if they need any help, the STM can directly help them until I get to them, right? So what I used to do is, I used to instruct first, and so that the students who are actually getting what I'm telling and who are fast, because not everybody is the same, not everybody has the same way of processing things, right? um, and then they have questions, they can ask me. But those 4, I used to, like, pamper them. I should use pamper, because I knew that it's hard for people when you are in a different age, and you do not have any prior technology knowledge. You barely know how to type an email in your phone. That's
Mhm.
crucial, and you need help. And I was trying to give them that help, and they appreciated. And then she mentioned that to me, that she had this experience when somebody said that she cannot pursue nursing, and now she was giving TEAS exam, which is the candidacy exam for nursing. So she was saying that, Zakia, thank you so much, because your help meant a lot to me, that I started thinking that I can move forward. That was like awesome. That's like an honor for me, because I never thought that it will she had a story like this, and I never thought that my motivation, like the motivation that I want to, you know, um, spread through them,
Mhm.
is actually having this kind of impact. So that's like just one. And I had this kind of story, like even before I started, like I joined you guys. um, One of my student was with me at in my 1 p.m. class, and he also appreciated me because he's from Nepal and he just came to the country like a year ago. um, and he has a little bit language barrier difficulty in that. So not everybody hears him patiently or as per him, and not everybody actually helped him before. But I took time to, you know, talk to him and try to help him out, and he loved that and he appreciated that. And it's an honor for me when my students are actually telling me that, whatever you are doing, it's helping, it's making an impact. And that's something fantastic in my journey. Like, as I was saying, that if 4 years is a long time, and in this 4 years, these countless appreciation that I received from my students every time, especially from people who are non-traditional, who are
Mhm.
from a different age group, who are from a different country, that they're actually getting the help that they need. It makes me feel like, yes, I'm doing the thing that I wanted to do, you know.
This concludes part one of our conversation with Zakia Mahabub from LaGuardia Community College. To hear part two, be sure to subscribe to Digication Scholars Conversations on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app. Digication Scholars Conversations is brought to you by Digication, a technology platform powering the most innovative e-portfolio programs in K-12 and higher education. Our website can be found at digication.com. This episode was produced by Jessica Chittum and Drew Albanesius. If you enjoyed today's conversation, please like, subscribe, and share with a friend. Thanks for watching.